Yo, what's up, sneakerheads? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Nature Boy Chuck, and on today's episode, a key question has been posed. And that key question is, are the original classics better than the re-releases that Jordan Brand has opened up the vault to in 2025? On today's episode, we're going to look at the details, on foot, and the releases of course, the Jordan 5 Grapes and the Ferrari 14s to see if they are actually better than the original releases on today's episode, coming up right now. First of all, I couldn't tell you how excited I am to actually be able to own a pair of the Grape 5s again and the Ferrari 14s again, and having prior knowledge and ownership of both shoes before. I'm going to try my best to try to determine value for its detailed look and how they feel for its weight and leather to either A, let you know the information that you're desiring from this video, and B, if you're looking to purchase one of them, what you're going to expect from that particular sneaker. So I'm going to lay this out real quick for you. Like I said earlier, we're going to look at the release, detail, and on foot of each sneaker so you can kind of follow that pattern to keep up with the destination or what you prefer in the video. Simply use the chapters right below in the video. Let's go ahead and get started. I have to say the shoe is absolutely beautiful, but the release was not so beautiful at all. If I had to rank the degree of how difficult the release was, 1 out of 5, it was probably easily a 3. If you were the type of person that woke up that morning and said, you know what, I'm gonna get on the apps, I'm gonna log in and try to cop this shoe, it was not easy by any means. For stock on sneakers, I want to say it was right around 21K, which was extremely low for a shoe that released in 2025, and the last time it released was in 2014. Now, we all may know, or you may not know, the inspiration behind this shoe was Michael Jordan's love for sports cars and the Ferrari that it's modeled after, which also made it an absolute hit. And one key thing with Jordan 2, anytime you have a black and red on the Jordan and it came out around that time, it was an absolute hit. Hitting up or trying to do the leg work and footwork on this shoe, you really had to do it before the release. This was not a particular model that you can just kind of sleep on and get to the stores a little bit later and think you can cop. Although a lot of people were able to do that, as most stores did not even announce online that they was going to have this particular model in store. Now, as far as being equated to the release of when the first time it came out, of course, it was a lot easier to obtain. The internet and things being set up for its apps was not available then. So being up in the morning, going to the store to be able to get this shoe was, a little bit more difficult. You had to deal with the crowds. I would honestly say, compared to the release of when it released in 2014 to now, it was a lot easier to obtain this particular model. But whether you have already purchased this shoe or you haven't purchased this shoe, and please let me know in the comment section. I want to get a percentage of how many people already copped this shoe for retail and haven't purchased yet. But for its resale, I think the prices is somewhere around $300 to $345, depending on size and range. Still not that far off, but if it's a shoe that you really want to obtain like a classic like this, I could recommend probably waiting a little bit more to see if Sneaker probably releases the sneaker again for as a restock, or the value and pricing and the hype dies down before you jump right back into it. Now, this model is a absolute grail to many people. The Jordan 5 Grape. Guys, this is the closest match that you'll get in a sneaker since 1990 in this particular model, with the Nike arrow in the back. As far as release, this model here was a lot easier to obtain than the 1990s. Now, a lot of you guys who are probably watching this video were not around in that time, and this shoe has pretty much leveled itself as a grail in that particular model. But every model in the 1990s that I probably know of are all busted, clammed up, and the bottom portion of the soles are no longer attached to the sneaker. Now, as far as leg work, you didn't have to do a whole lot. A lot of people like me, OGs in the game, I wanted to go ahead and get these locked in. So I got on JD Sports. They offered the early access for us the shipping, and they did it in store. Now I missed on in store, but I hit on the shipping. Locked it in with my price, used my $20 coupon that I had for early access also, and copped the shoes, and they were sent to me on release day, and that was easy enough for me. I want to say the stock numbers were right around 46K for us this being on sneakers, which kind of made it easy to obtain. For as of right now, I think there's still some available sizes on many websites that you can get this particular model, but a retail price only inching up a small bit due to some of the things you have had happening in politics and tariffs. This shoe was very, very easy to obtain for us to release. Now, is this a bad thing for a OG or a retro classic or somewhat called grail to release in this format and make it easily obtainable for most people? I would say no. I kind of actually like it because whether the generation then and now, they're easily able to obtain this sneaker without, I should say, any kind of hassle, any kind of trouble or issues, even though it may have looked at a little glim on release day. After that, it was smooth sailing. So this release was easily a 1 out of 5, making it great to obtain by all sneakerheads. This portion I'm gonna make very easy for you. I'm gonna go back and forth for details so we can look over each shoe itself, but we're gonna start with the Ferrari 14. The details on this retro classic is amazing. A couple of bad things, but I'll talk about those shortly. The ruffled suede on this particular model looks absolutely phenomenal. I didn't see any issues with it. It's buttery smooth, soft textured. I was looking for some quality control issues once I looked around this red suede, but everything was great. Now, if you see my earliest short video of when I received this shoe in the mail, I actually fumbled them while trying to catch them. Don't ask me why I was doing it, but just I thought I was going to catch them. That's why I played cornerback instead of wide receiver. But anyway, I dropped them on the ground, dusted off some of the dirt, and they look absolutely perfect. They were not harmed in any kind of way. Even looking around to the back tab portion of the shoe, it looks fantastic too. The yellow color and inspiration of that Ferrari looks great on the back heel of it. Right there at the top portion of the tongue, it looks great also. And even coming back right behind the back tab of it, you see, of course, the Nimrin being right there as Jordan 14s. The bottom of them still carries the weight as traditionally, looking good with the chrome plate being on there too. The yellow stamp being there, i.e. for the buttons, and you see the red Jumpman being on the bottom too. Now, of course, the Ferrari symbol, which is going to be replaced by the Jordan sign, is traditional, perfect. Looks great on there. Mine still has the tape on it. Mine is going to still remain with the tape on it. But other than that, everything looks good. Now, this is where I had a slight issue. Right around the bottom portion of the sole, you will see, of course, your carbon fiber type inspiration being on there. Now, that is a foam type texture. It mashes in. This is the only portion of the shoe I really had a problem with. Within some of the paint that usually goes around that, it is not to the T really whatsoever. And it's kind of out of line and on the red suede. Now, anybody walking around and somebody looks down at your shoe is probably not going to notice it, but a sneakerhead like me kind of, look at the details finally. That is the one issue I found with on the shoe was that portion of it also. Now, on the other model, I got the same quality control issues with both pieces being right there. Not a big deal, but if you're looking it up close or put the camera on it like you guys have seen, that's the only problem that I've actually seen on the sneaker itself. Everything looks almost identical to what you will find in the original model. I would say the red suede looks actually a little bit more premium than such so. And that's to each his own. I know most people are going to feel different when it comes to that. But the overall look and details of the shoe look very, very good. And by far, I'm impressed with how close it looks to the original one. Now I know things change over time. I can't expect it to be to the T. I would like to see enhancements from Jordan Brand and Nike to make the original classics a little bit better. And I think they actually did with the Ferrari 14s, minus some of the, quality control issues. Let's go ahead and head over to the grapes. This is going to be my babies, I will call it. The Jordan 5 Grapes are an absolute hit for me. This was a must-have shoe, almost like the metallic, or should I say reimagined metallic black 5s that came out earlier this year, which I kind of think are shoe of the year. But anyway, this was a must-have 5 that I really, really wanted to put back in my collection because I missed the original pair that I actually had. Now, the original model that I had was not the one with Nike Air on the back. It had the Jordan label being on the back. Of course, during that time, my brother had those. That's the only thing I could see is watch him with those. As far as the details, I'm going to go right off the rip and tell you that the leather on here, I think, is awesome. Is not too soft on the shoe where, you would have it over time age a lot quicker or look a little balled up as you walk in the shoe. It's a little tight, but it's very refined with some of the stress lines as you rub your finger through it. The laces look great, not hyper white, but it has the condensed white color on the laces. The cages on them are beautiful. That icy cage on it is awesome. It's to the T. It has the mesh that's right behind that portion, which is done well. Second of all, I haven't seen any kind of quality control issues out of this model itself. The stitching on the Nike Air in the back is pristine. The bottom portion of it is replicated beautifully on there. I would probably say the Jordan Jumpman is slightly bigger. It just may look that way to me, but I think that Jumpman on the bottom is slightly bigger than its original concept and model. Nike being there on the bottom sole there too. Clear bubble on it looks fantastic. The stitching on this shoe looks perfect. I am extremely impressed with how great this shoe looks. Now, looking at the tongue, of course, you're going to have your ruffled 3 layers being there too. The tongue on the shoe looks great, looks fantastic. It feels well. It feels like the original model. Even the smell, well, kind of different, but it still smells good on the glue itself. But everything about it is great. Now, I did notice one quality control issues in which I'm not just being a nag about it, but it was on the back heel for as the purple paint being on there too. But I can't really complain about this. This shoe is done well. Nike nailed it with this replication of the OG from way in 1990. This is a good shoe. I did find if you have your reimagined 5s and you have this particular model, I think you should go pull out the reimagined 5s if you have the same size of both. Put them side by side. One thing you're going to notice is the reimagined 5s are a lot more bulkier with the type of material that surfaced around the upper than this particular model here too. Now, I tried both of them on. They still feel the same, but for some reason, the reimagined 5s are a slightly bigger shoe than what you'll find in this leather upper of the Jordan 5 Grapes. The next segment, guys, I want you to like and subscribe, especially if you like great sneaker content where we break down the releases, details, and give you an on-feet look at some of the hottest sneakers that are going to be releasing either this year or coming up. Make sure you like and subscribe right now. There's nothing better than looking at it on foot. So looking at it on foot, we're going to start off with the Ferrari 14s. Now the red in this, and I tried to keep the color as close as possible without any edits barely in here so you guys can see it, of course, other than just the exposure. The red on this shoe looks great. The foam factor of this shoe feels great too. I will tell you this, the 14 model to me is one of the most comfortable models that you'll find in Jordan brand itself. As of course, when you get up to the higher levels, it does change. But the 14s are very, very comfortable. This Ferrari shoe definitely feels lighter than its previous model for some reason to me. But with that being said, the comfort of this shoe is great. Able to walk around. You guys see it in my videos. I always complain about feet issues. But these feel great on my foot. It's something that I can wear for a longer period of time. Just light enough, good support around the ankles. You'll be able to hoop in this shoe, of course, like any other 14 model itself. But I just like the way it looks, the design, the black that runs up the middle portion of the tongue with the yellow that's popping off, the signs that show it like it's the Ferrari itself, you know, racing inspired with the Jordan Jumpman logo being in the bottom of it. The carbon fiber, how it pops off that black on the bottom portion of it. This shoe really hits. This is a amazing looking shoe. On foot, whatever you wear, this shoe is going to get the attention that it absolutely deserves. On foot impressions to me is easy 8 out of 10 on this particular model. Jordan Brand, you killed it with the Jordan 14 Ferrari. Grapes on foot are the classics, man. Anytime I put this shoe on, I really do feel like the 90s inspired thing with Will Smith is all the way there. Now, of course, he rocked them without laces. And of course, Jordan Brand Nike did a remake of that without the laces. Wasn't a fan. But back to these, the white on it is crystal clear. The white leather upper is pristine and perfect. This is a beautifully crafted Jordan 5. The purple is popping off the tongue. Look at the bottom sole of it. The iciness of the bottom sole popping off with the green that you'll have and the purple. The Nike Air being on the back portion. The silhouette is beautifully smooth and classic. It is a grail. I don't care if it re-released and is not selling in the stores. This shoe is phenomenal. The overall look on how it looks is great. The Jordan 5s are always decently comfortable. It has the Nike Air bubble that's being on the bottom portion of it. Doesn't change too much of that foam factor. The comfort to me in this particular model is going to be somewhere around a 6 to 7 out of 10. I can wear them for a decent amount of time, but I'm not really complaining on it because when I wear this shoe, I don't plan on running a marathon. As you can see, the tongue looks great too in the camera portion. I want to show the front toe box of this particular model. Now, one thing I did notice from this particular model to the reimagined, the leather toe cap coming up here comes up a little bit farther on the toe box. I'm not sure why it's made that way. Might be just to the snugness of the leather, but I did notice that. But on foot, this shoe is an absolute banger, and you should have this in your collection. As looking at all of that, we went through the release, we went through the details, looked at each one of these Jordan classics that Nike and Jordan has reopened the vote for to put back out there for the masses. What do you think? Are these better than the original releases? Or are they just okay? For some people, that's not going to matter. For me, mostly, it kind of does. I want to see something closer to the traditional feel and the release and the details at that first model to kind of sort of get that same feeling. Now, most of the guys that are just getting into the sneaker game, this is not going to matter. What's going to matter to them is knowing the history of what they're putting on and enjoying what's being released today. It's great that these shoes are being re-released, I think, personally, because it gives the identity of Jordan Brand and where he came from and how this legacy, I should say, actually began to sell some of the newer sneaker culture. This is what you look forward to in sneakers, and this is what you look forward to for a storytelling that really makes the shoe. Jordan 14 Ferraris, Jordan 5 Grapes. My ending verdict, I should say, approved. I like them. I think they did a great job, and they have really nailed it with these re-retroed and released classics. I'm Nature Boy Chuck. That is it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this breakdown, guys. I will see you the next time, but until then, peace.